give us this condition that the particle 1 is moving towards particle 2. Just look at this point. So you can have a condition that is, let us say this is particle 1, okay, which is moving towards the particle 2, okay. Let us say it is having some mass m2, which is at rest. So the velocity of the first particle is given, that is 2 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second. Okay, so this is the half part. So this is our laboratory frame of reference where the one particle is approaching towards the another particle and the second particle will is at rest. Now what will happen next? The next part is given, that is, so the masses, let us say this is 1 gram, let us say this is 2 gram, and it is scattered along the direction making an angle. So you can say after collision it will get scattered, okay, it will get scattered with an angle of, let us say, theta is equal to 45 degrees. काला सांगितलं तुम्हाला कि this is the scattered particle, and the particle which is in the downward direction, negative y direction, that is nothing but the recoil nuclei. So this theta is equal to 45. It is scattered. Which one is scattered? The particle which is having mass that is equal to 1 gram, which is scattered at an angle of 45 degrees with the incident direction, while the particle of mass 2 gram is recoiled. So this is the recoil nucleus with an angle of, let us say, phi, which is equal to how much? This is equal to 30 degrees. So you can have two conditions. Okay, so this is the incident direction. So this is the particle which is having mass m1, which is equal to 1 gram. This is the particle which is having mass m2, that is equal to 2 gram. Okay, and will have the velocities. आता याच्यामध्ये तुम्ही initial velocity आपण define करतो in terms of, let us say, u1. Okay, this is having an initial velocity, that is u2, which is at rest. So u2 is equal to 0 for your third particle. Okay, and now what is asked? Find the velocity of the particle of mass 1 gram after collision. 1 gram चे जे particle आहे after collision, त्याची किती velocity आहे ते find out करायची. म्हणजे ही v1 ची value find out करायची. We can have the velocity which is for your second particle, that is given as v2. So we have different quantities. Masses दिलेले आहेत दोन. पहिलं particle which is moving, second particle rest. After collision we can have this condition theta and phi. What we will have to use? We will have to use this law of conservation of momentum. So look at the first conditions. What is actually given? Let us say we have given things. The given thing is, let us say m1 is given, that is equal to 1 gram, which is moving with some initial velocity. Let us say u1 is equal to 2 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second. Okay, the mass m2, which is having the mass, the second particle which is having mass m2, that is equal to twice gram, and we'll have to find out what should be the velocity of the particle which is having mass 1 gram after collision. That means we have to calculate what should be the value of this v1. आता ही v1 ची व्हॅल्यू आपल्याला फाइंड आउट करायची, आणि त्यासाठी आपल्याला जे काही लॉ ऑफ कॉन्झर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम्स आहेत ते आपल्याला यूज करायचे. सो लेट अस से you can have this is equal to p1, I mean momentum. This is, let us say, the momentum is equal to p2. This, let us say, this is equal to p3, and let us say this is equal to p4. Or we can do one thing. Let us say this is having a momentum p1, which is equal to m1 into u1, first particle. Second particle is having no momentum as it is at rest, so we can just cancel it, and we can say it does not have any momentum, and its momentum is equal to 0 or velocity is equal to 0. We'll say this is the momentum, let us say P2, which is equal to M2, not M2, this is M1 into V1, and let us say this is something P3, which is equal to M2 into V2. Okay. So now we'll have to apply the law of conservation of momentum. जैसा कि लक्षण बनेगा या तो momentum अपन consider के लिए नहीं है. So just say this is P1 and this P2 and this is P3. So just have this look and let us apply the law of conservation of momentum. Okay, along law of conservation of momentum along horizontal direction. काल आपने जे काही पाहिले तेच. So law of conservation of momentum along horizontal direction, that is given in terms of this is P1 is equal to this P2 cos of theta plus P3 cos of phi. Horizontal direction है. So याचा जो काय angle आहे that is nothing but 0. So cos 0 is equal to 1. So you can have this is momentum, but is P1 is equal to, this is actually equal to 0, so it doesn't matter. So this is equal to P2 into cos of theta plus P3 cos of phi. So you can have this first point. What is theta? So you can have also 2 points here. We can have theta that is equal to 45 degrees, that is the angle of scattering, and this phi is nothing but the angle which is made for your recoil nuclei or recoil particle, that is nothing but 30 degrees. So you can have these 2 points and you can say this P1 is equal to P2 cos of 45 plus P3 cos of 30. And so you can have this P1 is equal to P2. What is cos 45? That cos 45 is nothing but 1 upon root 2. So I can say this is 1 upon root 2 plus this P3 into cos of 30, that is nothing but root of 3 by 2. So you can have this in the first equation, that is the law of conservation of momentum along horizontal direction. Look at the second one. Law of conservation of momentum along a vertical direction. Okay, so along the vertical direction, so you can have that points in terms of your vertical direction. So that vertical direction, as this is part the first particle which is moving along the direction of propagation, or you can say along the x direction, as it does move along vertical direction. So what will happen? Its sine angle is equal to 0. So its momentum is along 0 along y direction. This is the second particle which is at rest, so it doesn't matter. Now let us consider this in terms of vertical direction. The momentum is considered as 0 is equal to, so before collision the momentum becomes 0 as there is no motion in a vertical direction, and so we can have the point that is nothing but P2 sine of theta minus P3 sine of phi. Okay, or you can say this P2 sine theta, which is equal to P3 sine phi, or I can say this P2 sine of 45, which is equal to P3 sine of 30. Okay, so what we can write? We can write these values, that is equal to 1 upon root 2 into this P2, and that is equal to what we want. We will have to put the values for P2 or P3 and then we will get the equations, and so we can have this P3 into sine of 1/2, that is sine 30. So this is equal to P3. So what is the value of P3 then? So this value of P3 is equal to root 2 times this P2. और 2 इतना ट्रांसफर होता है 2 upon root 2. So you can have this P3 is equal to root 2 times P2. Let us say this is your equation number 2. Now what we have to do? We have to use this equation number 2 in equation the value of P1 that is equal to, I just said this value of P1 is equal to this 1 upon root 2 times P2, okay, plus this root 3 by 2 times the value of P3, and that is nothing but root 2 times this P2. How much this will be? This is 1 upon root 2, okay, plus or into this P2 plus this root 3 upon root 2 times this P2. So you can have this value in terms of P1, and so you can write that as P1 is equal to 1 plus root 3 upon root 2 into P2. So we can have that equations. So this P1 is equal to this 1 plus this root 3 upon this root 2 times P2. आपल्याला विचारलंय का? What we have to find out? We have to find out the value of P1. Okay, that is the velocity of the particle having mass m1 after collision. Collision नंतर जो काही particle mass ज्याचं mass 1 gram आहे त्याची velocity किती आहे ते आपल्याला विचारलंय. So what we have to find out? We have to find out the value of P1. So काय करावं लागेल या ठिकाणी? याची काही इक्वेशन दिलंय याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला व्हॅल्यूज टाकाव्या लागतील आणि याच्यावरनं आपल्याला ही जी काही P2 ची व्हॅल्यू आहे ती आपल्याला चेंज करावी लागेल. ती आपल्याला कशी लिहिता येईल बा? So just write it as it is. So this P2 is equal to this root 2 divided by this 1 plus root 3, okay, times this P1. P2 हे सगळं ट्रान्सफर करून द्या root 2 upon 1 plus root 3 times P1. Now we'll just use the values. That is, what is P1? P1 is nothing but m1 u1. What is P2? P2 is nothing but m1 v1. So m1 v1 is equal to this root 2 divided by this 1 plus root 3, okay, multiplied by this m1 into u1. So this m1 that will get cancelled out, will have this value of v1, and that v1 is equal to this root 2 divided by this 1 plus root 3 times the value of u1 that is already given, and which is nothing but the particle moving with the velocity of 2 into 10 raised to 3 meters per second. And so you can just do a calculations and you can find out what should be the velocity of the particle after collision. जो काही particle scattered झालेला तर scattered झालेल्या particle ची जी काही velocity आहे तुम्ही इथे calculate करू शकता. So just check it out. What should be this value? That must be in terms of 10 raised to 3. So you just find out the value of this root 2. जी काही root 2 ची value आहे ती find out करा. तुम्हाला त्याच्यामध्ये लक्षामध्ये येईल की तुमच्या जे काही व्हॅल्यूज आहेत त्या किती येतात. सो यू कॅन हॅव दॅट व्हॅल्यू ऑफ v1 that comes out to be 1.04 into 10 raised to 3. Just check it out. 1.04 into 10 raised to 3 meter per second. म्हणजे काय झाले बा? सुरुवातीला याची व्हेलॉसिटी होती 2 into 10 raised to 3. कोलिजन झाल्यानंतर याची व्हेलॉसिटी जी आहे काही एनर्जी जी आहे हा सेकंड पार्टिकलला दिली गेली जेणेकरून दोघांचं एकाला स्कॅटरिंग झालं एक रिकॉइल झाला आणि काही व्हेलॉसिटी जी आहे ती ह्या पार्टिकलला दिली गेली. सो यू कॅन हॅव दॅट कन्सिडरेशन इन टर्म्स ऑफ युअर पार्टिकल. सो v1 is equal to 1.04 into 10 raised to 3. So that is your first problem. सगळ्यांच्या लक्षामध्ये येते का बा? कालचे जे काही कंडिशन्स वापरल्यात ते आपण यूज करू शकतो. You can call it as P1, P2, P3, P4. So accordingly you can change your law of conservation of momentum. So this is comes out to be P1 is equal to P3 cos of theta plus P4 cos of phi. मग तुम्हाला त्याच्यावरनं हे जे काही क्वांटिटीज P2, P3 लिहिल्या त्या थोडेसे चेंज करावे लागतील in terms of P3, P4, and so you can have that value again in terms of this V1. आपला ultimate aim काय आहे? We'll have to find out the velocity of the particle after collision. ठीक है? कुठला particle? The particle which gets scattered. याला म्हणायचं scattered particle. ठीक है? याला म्हणायचं recoil particle. ठीक है? जो थीटा अँगल ने जातोय तो scattered जो फाय अँगलनी जातोय, जो डाऊनवर्ड डिरेक्शननी जातोय, जो निगेटिव्ह वाय डिरेक्शननी जातोय, त्याला काय म्हणायचं आहे? रिकॉइल. दिस इज अ रिकॉइल. Okay, and this is called as a scattered one. So you just remember this. This is one problem we विचारलं जातं परीक्षेला. So you can remember this first thing. याच बेसिस वरती आता आपल्याला जे काही प्रॉब्लेम्स पाहिजे, हा प्रॉब्लेम आहे आता इलास्टिक वरती. हा झाला इनइलास्टिक वरती, की ज्याच्यामध्ये आपण लॉ ऑफ कॉन्झर्वेशन ऑफ मोमेंटम वापरलं. त्याच्यानंतर आपण काय वापरलंय? जी काही लॅबोरेटरी फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स आहे त्यांनी आपल्याला सांगितलं की अशा पद्धतीने सिस्टीम आहे, तर त्या सगळ्या कंडिशन त्याच्यात यूज केल्या. नाउ वी हॅव टू लुक ॲट द सेकंड प्रॉब्लेम. इधर लिहिलं नसेल तर याचा स्क्रीनशॉट काढून घ्या, and then you can have that problem with you. So I'll just share the second problem. The second problem is also the simple one. So I can have that. Just read it and you can have this idea. आपण जे काही काल पाहिलंय, काल परवाच्या लेक्चरला जे काही पाहिलेलं होतं, कशा पद्धतीनं तुमचे जे काही पार्टिकल्स आहेत, ते पार्टिकल्स कशा पद्धतीनं ऍक्ट होतात इन टर्म्स ऑफ लॅबोरेटरी फ्रेम असेल किंवा इन टर्म्स ऑफ सेंटर ऑफ मास फ्रेम असेल किंवा इन टर्म्स ऑफ युअर कंबाईन सिस्टीम असेल, तर त्याच्यामध्ये कशा पद्धतीने पार्टिकल्स वर्क होत आहेत, हे आपल्याला याच्यामध्ये आपल्याला सगळ्या गोष्टी पाहायच्यात. सो यू कॅन हॅव दॅट इन टर्म्स ऑफ युअर law of conservation of momentum and law of conservation of your kinetic energy. Remember that in terms of your inelastic collision, your kinetic energy does not move or does not get conserved. It gets conserved only in elastic collision. ज्या ठिकाणी इलास्टिक collisions आहेत त्या ठिकाणी जे काही तुमचे पार्टिकल्स आहेत ते पार्टिकल्स काय होतात आहे? कॉन्झर्व होत आहेत. बाकी ठिकाणी इन द सेन्स इनइलास्टिक कोलिजन मध्ये ते पार्टिकल जे आहेत किंवा जे काही तुमचा कायनेटिक एनर्जी आहे, कायनेटिक एनर्जी कॉन्झर्व होत नाही. आत्ताच तुम्ही पाहिलं या याच्यामध्ये पहिली याची वेलॉसिटी वेगळी आहे, आफ्टर स्कॅटरिंग त्याची वेलॉसिटी वेगळी आहे. तसं त्या ठिकाणी आपल्याला पाहायला मिळत नाही. इट इज हॅविंग सम डिफरंट फिनॉमेना देयर. So the problem here is that we have to show that the total kinetic energy in laboratory and center of mass systems are related by the relations. So what we have to see? We have to look at these two kinetic energy, that is the kinetic energy in center of mass frame and the kinetic energy in laboratory frame. So they are related by the relation that is given as m2 divided by m1 plus m2. So that relation is, and just write that what we have to show. We have to prove this condition, that is that TCM, CM that stands for center of mass, so that TCM is equal to m2 divided by m1 plus m2. m2 divided by this m1 plus m2, and that is multiplied by T lab. That is the relations between your laboratory and center of mass frame. आतापर्यंत हे आपण पाहिलं नाही. आपण काय पाहिलं? आपण पाहिलेलं होतं की what should be the position vectors, the relation between the position vectors. We have seen the relation between the velocities, we have seen the relation between the momentum, and at last we have to look at the relation between the angles, scattering angles, theta and theta dash. ठीक है? You just remember the quantities in laboratory frame. You can write that is in terms of u1, u2 or v1, v2. In center of mass frame, you can write that u1 dash, u2 dash, v1 dash, v2 dash. Or in terms of position vectors, we can have that quantities that is given in terms of the values. Let us say this one u1, u2. This is v1, v2. Then r1, r2. In terms of your laboratory frame, in terms of center of mass frame, we have quantities r1 dash, r2 dash, u1 dash, u2 dash, then v1 dash and v2 dash. So these are the different quantities. आता याचा फक्त आपल्याला यूज करायचा आहे आणि याच्यावरनं आपण जे काही कंडिशन्स आहेत त्या कंडिशन्स फाइंड आउट करणार आहे. that will show that this TCM is equal to m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into T lab. So what we have to look at this point. The point is that in laboratory frame of reference, let u1 be the velocity of the incident particle before collision. Let us say like this: your mass is m1, okay, which is moving with some velocity u1, and the second particle which is at rest, so you can say m2, where that case u2 is equal to 0. So that is our first thing. Okay, so u1 is the initial velocity of the incident particle, and the target particle is at rest. We have seen one condition in terms of the relation between different quantities in terms of laboratory and center of mass frame. You have a diagram. Just say like this. Okay. So the point is that these conditions let us say this is the resultant which is represented by V. This is your center of mass. These are your quantities which is having some velocity v1. This is having velocity v2. This is having velocity v1 dash. This is having velocity v2 dash. So ये diagram अपन already पाई हुई है. So you have these two particles in terms of your elastic scattering, which is having masses. Let us say m1 and m2. दोन masses आपण consider करतोय की ज्याच्या व्हॅल्यू च्या त्या m1 आणि m2 एवढ्या आहेत. Okay. So we have seen that the relations between your masses, as in terms of your the conditions, that is the relations between your masses when your particle is approaching. Let us say your mass m1 is approaching towards m2. So let us say its initial momentum is given as m1 u1 plus m2 u2, as u2 is equal to 0. So you can have only one term left, that is nothing but m1 u1, and that m1 u1 is nothing but the initial velocity, that is the related to your particle. So you can have that is m1 plus m2 into v is equal to m1 u1, and so we can have this vector v, that is the velocity with respect to center of mass, which is given as this m1 upon this m1 plus m2 into this u1. Okay, तर या कंडिशन्स आपण ऑलरेडी पाहिलेल्या होत्या, तिथे आपण यूज केलेलं होतं की that value of u1 it is nothing but v. ठीक आहे, कारण दुसरी कुठलीच velocity नाही आहे, we can have a relative velocity that is given in terms of v. So just have a look at these points. This is the first thing. The second thing is that you just use the law of triangle law of vector additions for this, and you can just find it out the values of v1 and v2. Let us look at this triangle where we can have vector v1, v and v1 dash. So according to the triangle law of vector addition, v1 is nothing but v plus v1 dash. So I can just write it there. So according to the law of triangle law of vector addition, you can have that triangle law, not triangle law, you can have that law of vector addition. So I can write that v1 is equal to v1 dash plus v. Okay. Or you can write that v2 is equal to v2 dash plus v. So you can have these points. So this is one thing. What about the law of conservation of energy? So according to the law of conservation of energy, what you can say? You can have a condition that is m1 u1 square, okay, plus 1/2 m2 u2 square, and you will say 1/2 m2 u2 square is equal to 1 half, what is that, m1 v1 square plus 1 half m2 v2 square. Okay, but this u2 is equal to 0, so only one term is there in the LHS, so that is 1 half m1 u1 square, which is equal to 1 half m1 v1 square plus 1 half m2 v2 square. Now what we have to do? We have here v1 and v2. We'll just use these values of v1 and v2 here, and we can just try to find out what should be our conditions in terms of this center of mass friend and laboratory friend. So we'll just check it out. So this is 1 half m1 u1 square, which is equal to 1 half, this is m1. What is v1 square? v1 is vector quantity. So v1 into v1, that will give us v1 square. So I'll just write it as, that is v1 dash plus capital V into this v1 dash plus capital B. Okay, I'll write it twice. Plus this 1 half m2 into this v2 dash plus V into this v2 dash plus b. Okay, so you can have these conditions. So now we'll have to solve it and just have a look at your final result. So we can have this is 1 half m1 u1 square, and that is equal to, this is 1 half m1, just have a multiplication of this. This is nothing but v1 dash square plus this v1 dash into capital V plus v1 dash into capital V, okay, plus this v square. This is your first thing. Plus second one, 1 half into m2. On the same basis, we'll have that is equal to v2 dash square plus this v2 dash into v plus we can have these terms, that is nothing but v2 dash into v, and the last term is, that is v square. So we can have these terms and just try to solve it out, and then we get the conditions, that is nothing but, this is 1 half m1 u1 square, and that is equal to 1 half m1 v1 dash square, okay, first thing, plus 1 half into this m1, okay, multiplied by twice v1 dash into v, okay, plus 1 half m1 into capital V square, ठीक है, plus next term, that is 1 half m2 v2 dash square plus 1 half into this m2 into again 2 times this v2 dash into v plus the last thing, that is 1 half into m2 into this v square. Okay, so just check it out. R2 cancel होगा, इधर ही त्याच पद्धतीने, and we can have a combination of the terms that is given as, that is equal to 1 half m1 v1 dash square plus 1 half m2 v2 dash square plus, okay, what is that? That is 1 half, look at these terms, 1 half m1 plus m2 into v, capital V square. Now what is remaining there? The remaining terms are plus this m1 into this v1 dash into v plus, I'll write it capital B. Just check it out. इथं V कॉमन आहे, इथंही V कॉमन आहे. So M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash into capital B. So we can have this terms. I just remove this figure. So it is quite easier for us to understand. So we can have this condition, that is 1 half M1 U1 square is equal to this 1 half M1 V1 dash square plus 1 half M2 V2 dash square plus 1 half M1 plus M2 into V square, okay, multiplied by, you can have that conditions in terms of V square. प्रश्न असा आहे, what is the value of T lab? आपल्याला इथे TCM सांगितले आणि T lab सांगितलेलं आहे. What is the value of TCM and what is the value of T lab? लॅबोरेटरी फ्रेम ऑफ रेफरन्स मध्ये तुमची कायनेटिक एनर्जीची व्हॅल्यू किती येते आणि सेंटर ऑफ मास फ्रेम मध्ये ती व्हॅल्यू किती येते. तर लॅबोरेटरी फ्रेम जर तुम्ही कन्सिडर केलं तर त्या लॅबोरेटरी फ्रेम मध्ये फक्त एकच पार्टिकल त्या ठिकाणी ऍक्टिव्ह आहे, दुसरा पार्टिकल ऍक्टिव्ह नाही आहे. म्हणजे कायनेटिक एनर्जी असेल तर त्या ठिकाणी वेलोसिटी आहे, दुसऱ्या पार्टिकलची वेलोसिटी 0 आहे. सो u2 is equal to 0. So you can have that condition, that is m1 into u1. ठीक है, 1 half m1 u1 square, that is the first velocity. So you can have for a laboratory frame of reference, you can have this is nothing but 1 half m1 u1 square, which is equal to 1 half m1 u1 square की काय व्हॅल्यू आहे याच्या ऐवजी आपण लिहू शकतो t लॅब. व्हॉट अबाउट TCM? TCM म्हणजे आता ज्या काही सुरुवातीला क्वांटिटीज तुम्हाला सांगितल्या की ज्याच्यामध्ये v1 dash v2 dash ह्या क्वांटिटी ज्या काही आफ्टर कोलिजन मध्ये इन्व्हॉल्व होतात, that is your kinetic energy. So what is your kinetic energy in terms of center of mass frame? That is 1 half m1 v1 dash square plus 1 half m2 v2 dash square. म्हणजे रिझल्ट आपला ऑलमोस्ट क्लियर झाला. सो यू कॅन हॅव टू थिंग्स, TCM and T laboratory frame of reference. दोन बाजू आपल्याला या ठिकाणी मिळाल्या. इकडे आपले TCM आलेला, T lab आलेला, इकडे आपला TCM आलेला आहे. And we have to look at this point. What does this mean? M1 V1 dash plus M2 V2 dash, okay. So according to that property of your center of mass, we have already seen these conditions when we are looking at the center of mass conditions, that is M1 V1 dash is equal to minus M2 V2 dash. Look at this point, this is important. We have already theory पाहत असताना पाहिलेलं आहे, that is M1 V1 dash that must be equal to minus M2 V2 dash. ही व्हॅल्यू जी आहे ती व्हॅल्यू किती होती, that is equal to uv. तुमच्या जर लक्षामध्ये असेल तर आपण त्या ठिकाणी अँगल स्कॅटरिंग अँगल मधलं रिलेशन काढलं, त्या ठिकाणी या गोष्टी पाहिलेल्या होत्या. And so what is remaining there? The remaining conditions are, that is 1 half m1 u1 square is equal to 1 half m1 v1 dash square plus 1 half m2 v2 dash square and plus this 1 half into this m1 plus m2, and we have already defined the value of v here, that capital V with respect to the center of mass is nothing but m1, okay, divided by m1 plus m2 into u1 and त्याचा स्क्वेअर घ्यायचा. So I can write this is m1 square into this u1 square, and which is divided by this m1 plus m2 bracket square. So m1 m2 या m1 m2 बरोबर कॅन्सल होऊन जाईल, and you can have that terms, that is 1 half m1 u1 square divided by m1 plus m2. So you can have these points in terms of the conditions. So I'll write it like this. So this is 1 half m1 u1 square, which is equal to 1 half m1 v1 dash square plus 1 half m2 v2 dash square plus this is 1 divided by, right, this is m1 divided by this m1 plus m2, okay, with the m1 square, and which is equal to 1 half m1 u1 square. 1 half एक m1 आतमध्ये घेतला, so 1 half m1 u1 square. So what is 1 half m1 u1 square? That 1 half m1 u1 square is nothing this is given in terms of this points, that is the T lab. I'll just check it out. What should be your points in terms of this? So the point that comes out to be 1/2 m1 u1 square. So this is T 1/2 m1 u1 square is nothing but in terms of laboratory friend, which is equal to T in terms of your center of mass friend, plus this m1 upon m1 plus m2 into your T in laboratory friend. So we have this point. Okay, what we want? We want TCM to the LHS, and then we can find out the values. So for this, I will just do one thing. I'll just transfer this, okay, to your LHS, and I can write the values for TCM, and that TCM is equal to, let's check it out. This is T lab minus this m1 divided by m1 plus m2 and multiplied by T lab. So I just write that this TCM is equal to 1 minus m1 upon m1 plus m2, okay, and multiplied by this T lab. So what is this? So this TCM that comes out to be m1 plus m2 minus m1 divided by this m1 plus m2 multiplied by T lab. And what is that? And that is nothing but this m1 that will get cancelled out, and we can write the kinetic energy of the particle in center of mass, that is equal to m2 divided by this m1 plus m2 multiplied by the kinetic energy in laboratory frame. So that is our result. लक्षात घ्या सगळ्यांनी. We have started from your law of conservation of energy. So that is given as 1/2 m1 u1 square is equal to 1/2 m1 v1 square plus 1/2 v1 dash square plus 1/2 m2 v2 dash square. आणि v1 आणि v2 ची जी काही व्हॅल्यू आहे ते आपण इथे फक्त टाकून दिलेले आहे आणि ते आपण सॉल्व केले. So after solving we will get some conditions. We just put the value of this v square that we have already calculated. So that v square that is given in terms of this m1 v1 square divided by m1 plus m2 bracket square, and we have this with respect to center of mass scheme m1 v1 dash is equal to minus m2 v2 dash. That is our relation, and so we can say this is your condition. So finally we will get the relation between your center of mass frame and laboratory frame. So you can just relate it. Either you can calculate it in terms of T lab, that is m1 plus m2 upon m2, okay, multiplied by TCM, or TCM is equal to m2 divided by m1 plus m2 into T lab. So we just relate. आतापर्यंत आपण थीटा वगैरे सगळं रिलेट केलं होतं. Now we have these relations between the kinetic energies. ठीक आहे, kinetic energies कशा पद्धतीने आहे ते आपण या ठिकाणी कन्सिडर केला. So remember that we are talking about the kinetic energies, that is because the particles are continuously in motion. As the particles are in motion, we can have to look at this kinetic energy and not the potential energy. So हे जे काही इलास्टिक स्कॅटरिंग्स आहेत, inelastic